first one is going to be nutrition, sleep, having a partner or a coach, like a training partner or a coach. You have to set up goals, and then it's all about the workout, the intensity, and how to create a good habit and lifestyle around that.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Thrive State podcast. Your host right here, Dr. V, triple board certified MD, performance and longevity expert, and thank you for being on the show. Have you believed, or can you believe, it's been 10 months since the start of the show? I know, because I launched the show right around the birth of my daughter, and she's 10 months old now. So thank you so much for being a part of this process. There's been so much growth over this past year. I mean, when you birth something, whether it be a book or a person, a little baby person, or something like a podcast or a show, you really have, the best intentions for it to grow. And I think that's the best we could do when we approach anything in life, is to make sure you have an intention, because that intention is going to mold that thing. So I know what I have for my daughter is I want to make sure I show her what true love really is, and she gets to experience that from me every day. And so I make sure I show up that way. With this podcast, I want to make sure that I bring guests that are experts in their field that give you the tools to take your life to the next level. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you happen to be watching on the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And if you're a loyal listener, one thing you could do to help this podcast grow would be to rate it. Give us 5 stars at ratethispodcast.com/thrivestate. And again, that only allows me more access to bring more people, more exciting topics to you the very next time. Now, I am super happy to present this next guest. His name is Mike Chabot. And I actually met him in a ranch filled with 100 other gentlemen. I belong to a men's mastermind. And in November, we actually spent an entire week at a dude ranch in Arizona. We rode horseback, we shot guns, we shared our hearts with each other. And, Mike and I really developed a very special bond. We also did something called penning. If you don't know what penning is, it's basically where you would be on horseback and you had to basically round up cattle into these pens. And lo and behold, he is a little bit bitter because I happen to be the penning champion of the group. And I don't know, they ended up in second, third place, but we make a little joke of that in the podcast earlier today. So you hear more of that story in a little bit. So a little bit more on Mike Chabot. He is actually a fitness instructor and model, and you've seen him all around social media and the internet. He's got over 4 million followers on all his different platforms. On Instagram, he is Mike Chabot Fitness, and Chabot is spelled Chabot. He's actually a fitness instructor and coach for a lot of Hollywood celebrities, as well as some big names in the entertainment and business world. And he comes to us with a great sense of humor, but a lot of knowledge as well. I highly recommend you check him out on social media and reach out to him. He's very, very accessible. And as you can see, a very fun guy. He has a Canadian French accent, which is very different from the French accent, I was told. So I'd love to hear what you think about his accent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome social media legend, celebrity fitness trainer and coach, Mike Chabot. My man, Mike Chabot, welcome to the Thrive State podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be there.
You know what, Mike and I, we met in a retreat, actually a cowboy dude retreat. The two of us were spending an entire week in the sand and in the dust together. It was a great chance to get to know you. And I only have awesome people on the show. The only thing is, how do you feel, placing second or third behind me in the penning competition?
Oh my God, that was cheating. I mean, Kien was just being nice with you guys. We all know that we did a better time and we had a better average, but I guess to not make you cry because your team was a little sensitive, that's why he gave you the medal. But we all know who's the real winner. It's all good.
Mike Chabot, it is so great to have you on the show. We know you've got over 1 million followers on multiple different, channels here. And you're really just giving inspiration, motivation, both in spirituality and fitness. And you don't seem to have an American accent. Where are you from, Mike?
Yeah, I'm originally from Canada, Montreal. That's why my accent is a little weird for some people. They can't pick it up because I speak French. It's my first language, but not French from France. It's French from Canada. And then I learned English all over the world. So my accent is a little mix of a few countries, I guess.
What would be the difference between the accent, the French accent from Canada versus France? Like what words are different between the two dialects?
It's not really the words. I would say it's like if you compare British accent with US accent, that's would be it. And the French people, when they speak English, it's kind of very awful. It's
Okay,
very,
but not the Canadian French.
not better.
All right. Well, we know that you really kind of built quite a career for yourself here in the States. You're an influencer, again, millions of followers. How did you start in the health and fitness industry? Did you suffer any health problems on your own? Is that what got you there? But tell us how you started there and how you started to build your following.
Cool. So when I was 15, I was kind of a skinny boy. So I was very, very like skinny. I was 5'10", but skinny. And I was like always watching all those movies with celebrities that were in amazing shape. And most of men, when they want to train, it's for self-confidence. So that's how I started, like 15, I was getting in the gym. Back then it was like Ronnie Coleman, the big bodybuilder. There was nobody helping you. You were just going to the gym and just doing whatever to make your body feel better and look better. And that's how I started. And at the beginning, it's full of ego. You go to pick up girl, you want to have the best body. And the problem with going to train that way is often that you're going to quit. And I'll explain later why. But down the line, I'm 19-year-old. I'm in the peak shape at that time of my life. And I get a big motorcycle accident. So I'm 6 months of work and my shape is down the toilet. I have to start again. And the doctor said that basically I survived the crash. I was driving a little fast, like probably 240 on the highway. So he said that because I was in shape and I good muscle, like a good muscle mass, that's why I survived the crash without anything. But we'll never know. From that day on, I was like, okay, it gave me a break of life to be like, what do I really want to do? Because I was doing a lot of job, a lot of thing, but I was not really happy. And when I was training, I was in very good shape. But when I had money, I was not in shape because people have a tendency that it's hard to combine both of them. Like either you're super focused on something, and I'm going to give you a tip later how to make it a habit in your life and get in shape. But from that age, I decided that I wanted to be paid to be in shape. I was like, that's what I want to do. And what can I be one of the best in the world to do? And I want to use that to later on switch and help people with multiple aspects of their life. So I knew that I had a great shape, I had a great physique, and I could be one of the top in the world. So I started training for that competition, Mr. Canada, doing shows. And then this led me to being very unhealthy in terms of competing and all those calories and not taking care of my health. And mentally, I was probably not at the best, and I was in toxic relationship, but I was in amazing physique. Like my shape was the peak. And then that's where I hit another bump in the road. And I was like, okay, when I end up my last relationship at 25 and I was bankrupt and I was like mentally destroyed, I was like, I need to combine everything. And that's what I do now. I do so the mental aspect, the spiritual aspect, and to be in the top health and be in shape. Like being in shape is one part of the spectrum. But what I teach my client and what I teach people is a lifestyle. It's not only to be in shape, because most of people, they're going to go with the goal. So, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And we all know that if you're goal driven, you're never going to make it.
Oh, well, great. Now let's go back just a little bit. You mentioned that you were in great shape, meaning you looked great. but you weren't internally healthy. So I think that that's something that's really important to know. So some people who look very muscular could potentially be kind of not so good. Can you dive into how did you know just because you looked really good on the outside that the things weren't that great on the inside?
Yeah, I can like it's gonna be pretty deep what I'm gonna say, but so the thing is, well, when I was doing Canada, I was taking steroids, and I mean, I'm all for steroids. I've always done it. I had 3 professional following me, making sure my health was good, but I was lactose intolerant, which I didn't know. I was gluten intolerant, which I didn't know, and I was bumping my calorie like crazy. So I had a lot of leaky gut issue, and I was bleeding like crazy from my intestine because they were so irritated from the food. And then steroids is going to elevate your heartbeat, and since you pump more blood and you go to the gym and you train hard and all that stuff, and I wasn't like taking as much care as I do now with everything that I put in my body. So it led me to 4 colonoscopy. I had to make sure that the health was back on track. Good thing that I was always careful of what type of steroids and how I do my thing. But yeah, when you're only driven by the goal, you forget to take care of your health.
Oh yeah. So I mean, this is super important. It's not just the shape that we're after, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. How did all those things kind of come together? And it sounds like at the age of 25, things had to break down, which was really a gift because it allowed you to start to put some of those pieces together.
Yeah, exactly. And I was in the worst relationship of my life. So your body's always talking to you. And then when you're only focused on that type of stuff, you're not listening. You're not deep, like you're not going deep in your intuition. You're only focusing on the external look and how people perceive you and the ego. So I had to kill all that and just like reborn and do the good stuff. I was always interested. I went to Tony Robbins at 23. I did the walk on fire. I did a lot of things, but I was not really applying it in my life. Like all the health aspect, the mental aspect, everything. I was just like, I knew it, but I wasn't doing it.
Mm. So you got over 1 million followers all across the social media platforms. How do you think you have become so popular? Was it initially the look, or was it kind of bringing in all these holistic aspects and the sides of 360 health that you think is starting to resonate with so many people?
I would say that at the beginning, people were following me for the look. I mean, I look good, and people start following you for that. But my thing is, it's been 8 years, 9 years. I'm on social media, and I still have a big following. I have 4 million almost on TikTok, and even if it's a new platform, I was really successful on it. I still have like amazing engagement on Instagram, and everything I do on social media is still doing very good. So the look is only going to bring you a certain amount of people, or it's going to bring you a certain type of audience. But then people realize that it's more than the look. It's, oh, okay, this guy feels good. He's happy. Like, what is he doing? And then people get involved with you, and they're like, so I think that's what kept people on my profile and my platform for so many years, because I was giving them knowledge. I'm always testing new stuff on myself, and then I'm sharing with them what I did and how I did it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, I know you work with, you know, Hollywood celebs, you work with CEOs, really kind of type A, very, very successful people. How are they different from training somebody who might be, maybe not so type A?
I love training both clients. The only thing that I ask my client is to be committed. So the thing that you would normally notice from people that are more like celebrity or successful people, like the people I want to work with, it's because they know what it takes to be successful. They know what it takes to be to another level. So I'm saying, like, most of the time, there's still some exception. I still had to drop some client because I tell them to do stuff or I teach them stuff and they don't do it. But most of the time, those people, the people that are successful and that they're aligned, they know what it takes and they're just gonna do it. They come to be serious. They not come to waste money.
Well, it sounds like, the people that you train, and I find it the same way. I'm pretty expensive for an anti-aging doctor, but the people who are able to get there, have the mindset level of success already. They know that mindset, what it takes, and the work that it takes to build your craft and to become that next version of yourself. So let me ask you this: you've got some tips here that can help people, and the people, you know, a lot of people in my audience always have the same questions. Is they kind of know what to do, they'll start doing it for a little bit, but how do you stick with it? You know, people, you know, just start to, bounce off. So what are some of some of your tips of staying in really good shape? And then how do you stick to that plan?
This episode of the Thrive State podcast is brought to you by the Thrive State Accelerator. The Thrive State Accelerator is actually a home course that I developed using the exact same techniques I work with my celebrity clients, CEOs, and executives on how to get them to the Thrive State. The Thrive State Accelerator teaches you how to master your 7 bioenergetic elements. That's sleep, nutrition, movement, stress and emotional mastery, relationships, our thoughts and mindset, as well as purpose. In this Thrive State Accelerator, you're also going to get a bonus module on optimization. That's how I talk about supplementation, peptides, all the optimization techniques I use with my clients to get them to the Thrive State. Now, for some of you who are just joining us for the first time, you guys might be wondering, what is the Thrive State? Well, the Thrive State is actually the energy, the epigenetic environment we give to ourselves, telling our DNA how to act and how to respond. And if we want optimal health, longevity, and peak performance, if we can master these 7 bioenergetic elements, our ability to have those 3 things that we just said, optimal health, longevity, and peak performance, is at its greatest. And it also prevents you from getting chronic symptoms like brain fog, being overweight, feeling sluggish, acne, pain, all these chronic symptoms, as well as preventing you from getting chronic disease. So getting to that Thrive State is really getting to that state to master being that very best version of yourself, so you could show up for you, for your family, for your business, everything that's important to you. So go ahead, check it out right now at kienvu.com/accelerator and use coupon code podcast25 for 25% off. Now back to the podcast.
So I'll give you like the top 5 thing that are the most important for me, and then I'll dive deep to let you know like how to apply them and what's my tip in every aspect. So the first one is going to be nutrition, sleep, having a partner or a coach, like a training partner or a coach. You have to set up goals, and then it's all about the workout, the intensity, and how to create a good habit and lifestyle around that. So first thing and most important thing is going to be nutrition, because no matter how hard you train at the gym, no matter what you do, if you eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit, and it's going to like show on your body. 95% of your happy hormone you're feeling is coming from your gut. So if it's always full of sugar, full of bad nutrition, and you're always bloated and you're not feeling good, first, your muscle is going to be in pain. They're not going to recover. There's going to be bad recovery. Like, it's all linked to how you treat your body and what you feed it. You have to treat your body like it's a Ferrari. I always tell people, what would you put if you have a Ferrari? Would you go and put normal gas into it? No, you would be careful and put the best. So why don't you do the same with your body? And my tips, first, if you don't know how to do it and you're lost, I have an app. It's called Faste Fitness app. So FASTE. It's going to give you everything you need to know. It's customized. You fill the questionnaire. It's going to provide you with the macros and the calories. If you don't want to use my app, if you want to use me personally, you can message me. Or if you want to use any other coach because you prefer them, feel free to do so. But the most important thing is to know your calories and macros. And I'm going to explain you a little bit about macros. So macros would be protein, fat, and carbs. So you need to learn a little basic about the nutrition. Once you do, and I'm not talking about hours of research, but once you understand what those 3 things mean, you're going to be a lot more cautious of what you put in your body. And I will give you my best tip of what I make my client do for results. I'm going to do 4 days or 5 days, depending on how people like they want to take the weekend of high fat. So you're going to do high fat, meaning nuts, butter, olive oil, coconut oil, MCT oil, everything that is an healthy fat, you want to be high fat those days, 4 days a week, and you can reduce your calories a little. So let's say that the day that I'm going to be high fat, for myself, I'm going to be at 2,400 calories. And the day that I'm going to be high carbs, the 3 other day. So often I tell people do it the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because it's the 5 to 7, the Friday we're going dinner with friends, and Saturday too. Or you can do Friday to Saturday, Sunday, if you're going to have a dinner or anything with your family on the Sunday, whatever you feel like. Those days, you can bump your calorie a little. So me, I'm going to bump it to 3,000. Then it all depends on your metabolism. You got to try some stuff, but you want to bump it a little, and you can do high carbs day. The only thing I'm going to tell you is if you're overweight right now, or you have like problem, or men, most of the like people in the group right now are men's. If you see you have the little tire on the side or stuff like that, or fat around the belly, it's what I call insulin sensitivity. Your insulin sensitivity is not working properly. So what I would suggest you to do is 2-3 weeks at the beginning as a cleanse. So you're going to go include more fat in your diet. I know most of the people, especially in America, they eat protein. So they're going to eat like fish, steak, or whatever. And then they're going to eat like potato, rice, or anything like that. A little bit of veggie, if they eat veggie, and they're going to forget about the fat. And if they eat fat, it's from fast food and all the bad fat, the trans fat, and everything that's not good. So salmon has good fat, eggs, if you're not intolerant, has good fat, but make sure you buy the best one. As I said, buy high quality. Then once you understand this, my tips is to not buy trash food. If you don't have it in your house, you're not going to eat it, because it's so easy to just arrive home and jump in the trash food, especially if you're hungry, you were in traffic, you're tired. Like, make sure you have some good healthy meal that are ready to eat. Some rice, some whatever protein you want to have, and then an avocado on the counter. You just cut it and there's your fat. So that would be like.
So it really sounds like get rid of all the junk that you know is very easy to just grab, get it out of the house. Make sure you have some stuff ready to go, so then you're not like looking for stuff. That's really good stuff. So high fat, if you want to get thin, eat fat. That's definitely good stuff. What are your tips on sleep?
Okay, so sleep for me, I'm gonna try to go at the bed around the same time all the time.
Yeah.
So for me, around 10, I noticed that for myself from 10 to 2 or 3, and I tested it with some product like the Aura Ring or a sleep mattress or stuff like that, that's when I get the most benefit from the sleep. You know yourself, if you go to bed past a certain time, you're going to feel like shit the day after. So for myself, I want to be sleeping by 11. Yes, there's some day that I don't respect it, but I have a 2 alarm on my phone that's telling me that it's time to go to bed. So around 10 or 9:30, I'm going to start my routine. So I'm going to meditate. Meditation is one of the best things to do. If your brain is too active, try to read a book. You want to drop your phone, forget about the computer. Everything needs to be aside. If you want to have good sleep, you need to make sure you plan it. So relax your mind, quiet your mind, then you can meditate, and then you're going to go to sleep. You can take a cold bath or cold shower before bed. This can help a lot to improve your sleep. If you have trouble falling asleep, you could use melatonin. That's a good product. Don't abuse it. You can cycle it, but it's good if at the beginning to create your sleep pattern. Myself, I pushed it. I have a ring that controls my sleep. I have a mattress that cool down my bed, because it's proven that if your mattress or your room is like cooler, you're going to sleep better, deeper sleep. And that's what you want. The REM sleep and the deep sleep, that's what you want to achieve. Often what the problem is that we watch TV, or we do something on the computer, or we do the cell phone before bed. This is going to make your brain too much, like too active.
Too stimulated. And it also, the blue light coming from those devices inhibits your own body's production of melatonin, so you can't fall asleep. So that's really great stuff.
Yeah. So, and going to bed around the same time. And I say that for most of people, what I notice, for most of clients and most of people, if you go past midnight, you're not gonna sleep well. You're gonna need like 8-9 hours of sleep. If I go past midnight myself, I need to sleep until 9 or 10. If I sleep at 10, some night I go at 10, I wake up at 4 or 5 and I'm full of energy. And it's so good. I need 6 hours, sometimes 7, and I'm top shape.
Yeah, when you optimize, the less sleep you need. You had three more things. One was a coach, one was goals. What was that third one?
The workout, creating the right habits. So I would say the same thing. So the workout, they're available on my app. You can I'm gonna mix it with a coach. If you want to avoid wasting time, you need a coach. You need someone that's gonna do it. And all of you are successful. All of you have businesses that you train people into something. So think about it when it's your business. Like, if you want to know what to do with your hormone, you're gonna hire Kien. If you want to, like, it's so important to have someone that tells you, and finding the right coach for you that you're gonna feel good training with him, and that has the right knowledge, is something very, very important. There's a lot of coaches that don't know what they're doing. They just started. They like, make sure you have a proper conversation with the coach and you trust him, and then it's gonna save you a lot of time. And also, I noticed for myself and a lot of clients that because you're gonna pay someone to do the workout and to do things, it's gonna force you and keep you accountable for. So if the client know that he's coming 2 or 3 times a week to see me, and he's paying like a few $100s a week to be trained, he's gonna make sure that he's gonna also do 2 sessions on himself, because he wants to have the result. You're not paying someone just to waste money. So being accountable and creating the right habits, that's the most important.
Very good. Then, once again, what was the name of the app? We're going to put it down in the description below, but what was the name of the app?
The app is Fast, but it's FASTE, then Fast Fitness.
Okay.
And you have workout on it, like the workout that I do, and then, or you can select a workout if you want to specifically lose weight. I created a program for that. There's a program for athlete that is a little harder. There's a program for women. So there's program for everything. Then if you live in LA, you want to coach in person, I coach in Beverly Hills. I still have few spots for clients that are really dedicated. But the most important thing is to create the right habits. And once you create a routine, so there's no best time. Like, people are like, what is the best time to work out? Of course, I could say, oh, if you work out around this time, but this is like tweaking. It's like going from 100 million business to 120 million. Right now, you don't have a business. So why would you try to tweak it? Like, start with the basic, make a routine, go whenever it fits your schedule. If it's morning, you go morning. If it's evening, you go evening.
All right. Well, that's been really good. Those are really great 5 tips that are there. Now, I know a lot of people, there's tons of information out there, tons on YouTube, on apps and things like that. Some people start and they just can't finish. I know some of the guys in this group really need accountability. So what are some of your tricks to, like, hold yourself accountable to the person that you want to become, and to put in the work?
So I always focus first. You have to enjoy the journey. If you focus on goals, you have to set up goals. That's okay. But if you only focus on the goals and you don't like what you're doing, so find a type of workout that you enjoy doing. Maybe hypertrophy is not for you. Maybe strength is not for you. Maybe you want to do hikes and yoga or explosive workout. Find something that you enjoy doing, and then you're just going to do it and you're going to stick to it. And then you have to enjoy it on the long term. So that would be like what's going to keep you accountable. Like, make sure you do it and you like doing it.
That's really good too. And certainly I think a trainer really helps as well. And if you like your trainer, hell, if you like this guy, he's okay looking. He's no Kien Vu, of course, but he's okay looking. I train with somebody, he's Eric, the trainer. He trains tons of celebrities as well. His energy is just so good that, again, when you focus on enjoying the process, that makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, and I'm sure that once you got a night like your coach, I'm sure he has a lot of knowledge and he's good. And once you get someone like that to help you, I'm sure it changed dramatically your shape and how you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, those were great, 5 tips, and really good tips as to how to actually stick with your plan. And the plan is just to love what you're doing, love the process. I love that. Now, with everything that you've done, with all the healing that you've done spiritually, mentally, working out, here's my last question. Actually, before I ask my last question here, with everybody that's listening around the world, how do people best find you?
They can just search Mike Chabot. So Mike Chabot is my YouTube, it's my TikTok, it's all the platform except on Instagram. I use Mike Chabot Fitness. But even if they type my name, it's probably gonna be the first one on Instagram. Like even if they just type Mike Chabot.
All right. Yeah. For all of you guys looking right now on your phones, it's Mike Chabot. And yes, we still have another couple minutes right now. Stop checking him out. Pay attention here. Mike Chabot, with everything that you've done thus far, what has been your best medicine?
Meditation.
All right.
I would say meditation hands down. Like, because being just in shape and being healthy, if your mental health is not present, you always gonna drop off. Like, no matter how good you look, no matter how good you feel with the nutrition and stuff, if mentally you're not present, you're not connected with life, you're not in the present moment, you're not doing the right thing, you hate your work, you're never going to be able to sustain anything. So I would say that meditation brought me the peace of mind, brought me the quietness in my mind when I need it, and it helped me to actually enjoy life. That was my biggest problem, because after I went bankrupt, I became successful and I was traveling the world, and I was like in the Maldives, $50,000 trip, doing a lot of things, traveling the world, not working like typical job, but like online. And I was still unhappy. And then I had to dive deep down and be like, I need to live the present moment and relax and enjoy life. And life is good. So I would say that from everything that I've done in my life, like diving down in spirituality, reading book and meditation is probably the best thing that happened to me.
Sounds good. Sounds like meditation and presence was your best medicine. Mike Chabot, thank you for joining the Thrive State podcast. Appreciate you having you here, brother.
Thank you, my man. Thanks for having me. Thanks to everybody for listening.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Thrive State podcast. And if this podcast is bringing a lot of value to you, if you find that your life is just improving with this podcast, that your life is getting to the next level, please consider supporting it. And here's a few ways you can do so. You can do so by liking this video and commenting on this video, and also sharing this video with your friends and family. Another thing you can do is go to ratethispodcast.com/ThriveState. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review there. It will really, really help this show grow. And this will give me more time so that I could actually give more content to you, just like you got in this episode. And if you haven't already picked up a copy of my book, Thrive State, Your Blueprint for Optimal Health, Longevity, and Peak Performance, you can pick it up now. It became a #1 new release in longevity. Go to thrivestatebook.com. And if you enjoy the book, please consider leaving us a review as well. And the last thing you can do, if you're liking everything here and you want to work more closely with me as well as my team to get you into the Thrive State, go to kienvu.com/accelerator and consider joining the home course, the Thrive State Accelerator. It's really the course that I use. It's the concepts that I use personally when I work with CEOs, celebrities, and my high-profile clients to get them to the Thrive State. Again, the Thrive State Accelerator at kienvu.com/accelerator. And because you're a listener of this podcast, I want you to save 25% by using the coupon code podcast25. I hope we continue to give value to you. And remember always, you are your best medicine.